Hi, this is Tracy HD, and I want to thank you for joining me today for our weekly Oracle and Tarot card reading, and this will be for the week of February the 8th, and I'm using once again the Mystical Healing Reading Cards by Ina Segal. And let's get started. You can use this as a pick a card reading, 1, 2, or 3, or a blended reading with all 3 cards for the week, the beginning, middle, and end of week. As I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, angels, and God, please relay the message I need to share with my viewers for the highest good of all. And for the beginning of the week, or card number 1 from the top. Card 2, I'll take from the center or middle of the week. And card 3, which will be from the bottom, which will be the end of the week. And let's see what we have here. Well, we start off the week, or for those of you that have picked card number 1, it's card number 26. And this is a beautiful, beautiful card, and it says, relieve anxiety, okay? And we have this woman here, and she's holding this candle. And then we have this other woman facing this way. It's like 2 sides of maybe our personality, maybe a light and dark side in this card. And your body's showing you that something's out of alignment. You've pushed down numerous traumatic experiences, and your inner being is overwhelmed by too many charged and conflicting energies. And when we get this way, it starts with a thought in our mind. And as we say, where the mind goes, the body follows. And it is so true. And you know, a lot of us push down these traumatic experiences because we just don't want to feel them. We just don't want to deal with them. But, you know, the best thing that you could do when you experience these types of feelings, anxiety, panic attacks, is to express yourself in a way that is not, I don't know. Let me put it this way. Do not resist the feelings. Sit with the feeling. Accept that it is what it is, because when we fight these feelings of anxiety and we don't accept that it's just a feeling, it's going to pass, you know, just sit with it, allow it, and then let it go, it's much easier to deal with anxiety that way. Otherwise, a lot of us get to the point where when we start feeling anxiousness, anxiety, we start panicking, we start thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And when we do that, it prolongs the anxiety. So you want to maybe, you know, sit with the feeling instead of, you know, pushing it and, you know, focusing on other things. Your inner wisdom is eager to overcome and show you a different way of living your life. You know, we don't have to stay trapped in these mental prisons. And, you know, it starts with, like I said, thoughts. You know, a negative thought begins in your mind before you know it snowballs into a thought attack. You need to find a way to slow down, go into nature, and truly listen to your body. You know, and if some of you out there could start meditating for at least 15 minutes, 10 minutes a day, just doing breathing exercises helps me. You know, we really have to get control of our body and our minds before it starts to control us. And, you know, when you're feeling anxious, you know, ask yourself, what are you trying to suppress? What are you not accepting? And I'm not saying to accept things that are bad in your life and just, you know, give up. I'm saying that you got to know what to accept and, you know, what you could do something about, what you can't do something about. Because when we fight these feelings and we fight this anxiety, you know, it only makes the anxiety worse, you know. What outer changes in your life do you have to make? You know, maybe you need to say no to, you know, going out, you know, with everyone after work and maybe just going home and having a quiet meal and a quiet bath. Maybe you have to say no to someone who wants you to help them plan a birthday party or, you know, whatever it is. We can't be everything to everyone. And when we overload ourselves and we're the kind of person that just says yes to everyone, we end up very exhausted and drained. So you got to think, you know, what is it that you can remove from your life that's going to give you a more relaxed and peaceful, you know, lifestyle. And, also you have to think about, what are you eating? What are you drinking? What are the relationships that you're involved in? How is your work? As well as, going within and becoming aware of, how you could be in the moment more, because we rush around every day. I say this all the time. There's never enough time in the day to get things done. But you just have to tell yourself, I'm going to do what I could do today, and the rest is going to have to wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. So examine your life and see what is causing you this anxiety and stress. And if it's a relationship, you may need to let it go. If it's a work situation, you may need to change your job. Whatever it is, we need to do things that are going to allow us to have a more peaceful, relaxed life, because anxiety is no joke. We could get caught up in it on a daily basis. And then card number 2, or the middle of the week, we have awaken your vulnerability. And this is number 3 for those of you out there that are following numerology. And this is, telling you to be vulnerable with your feelings, and it requires a lot of courage, to face our feelings. And, you need to, how could I say, you need to basically be vulnerable with your feelings, have the courage and a decision to break the hard shell of protection that keeps you separated and isolated from other people. I mean, I know a lot of us have our guard up, and rightfully so, with certain people and situations that we might have gotten burned from. But, vulnerability connects you to the most hidden aspects of your soul. And there's a time to be guarded, and there's a time to maybe let your guard down. So maybe some of you out there are just being too hard-shelled and protecting yourself too much. And it's a delicate balance of knowing when to trust and when not to trust. And in this exploration you have the possibility of discovering your most intimate, delicate, creative, and surprising aspects. When you become vulnerable, you open your heart more, you take more chances, you start living life. But when we remain closed off and, we're in hermit mode and we feel the world is out to get us, we deny ourselves our true essence and what life is really about. I mean, life is about, winning and losing, being happy and being sad, feeling the pain and feeling the joy. And this may require you to develop more understanding and compassion for yourself and your life's journey, while at the same time, moving past the pain of rejection or abuse you may have experienced that caused you to shut down, because we've all been through that. Whether it's mental abuse, physical abuse, whether it's, someone who's betrayed us, we go into our shell. Yeah, I mean, it's just human nature. We all do it. I've done it. I've wanted to just close myself off from the world when I'm going through something. But you know what I found? By opening up, talking to people, and not shutting down and not going to isolation, it's the best approach to still be amongst people, even when you feel like you want to be alone. Because people out there have genuinely good hearts. And you'd be surprised at, the happiness that you could feel just by not disconnecting yourself and going inward and feeling sad and sorry. Don't close yourself off to others, basically just because someone has disappointed you. Don't hold new friends or potential relationships. Don't hold it against them for what someone else might have done to you in your past, because not everybody is the same. And while it's important to keep certain people at a distance, there are others who are already in or about to come into your life. These people can hold the space for you to step into a soft, honest, gentle exploration of your heart. And it is so true. It's important not to close yourself off and to become bitter. Allow yourself to take a different approach. Like I said, I'm guilty of this too, where something bad happens and somebody does something that makes me feel betrayed. I just want to sulk and spend some time alone. And that's fine. You do have to do that to gain a perspective on things. But you'd be surprised that if you allow your friends to help you, it makes such a big difference. And if you refuse and keep suppressing your feelings, you're going to become exhausted and numb, frustrated and cold. Like I say, every situation allows us to either become bitter or better. Choose better. It's time to warm your heart and start to be more in touch with what's inside your body. You know, what pain are you holding in your lungs, your heart, your throat, your internal organs? I know when I go through a lot of stress and pain, I feel it in my lower back. You know, sometimes you feel, it in your chest, like someone pushing down on your chest, or like I said, my lower back. But you feel this pain that you're suppressing, within your body, throughout your body. It's just like your intuition when you're around a certain person, when you feel like the life force is just draining out of you, your energy is just draining out of you, your body reacts to things. So this is telling you to not suppress whatever pain you're going through. Allow it, accept it, release it, and continue to connect with other people. Do not shut down. And then the last card, or card number 3, the end of the week, is Access Clear Thinking. And this is actually card number 1 in the deck. To think deeply about something, you have to develop your powers of concentration and allow yourself the time to connect all the pieces of your inner puzzle together. Profound thinking requires you to ask important questions, such as how much time and energy do I have available during the day? And am I using, my time in the most constructive way possible? What's the most important thing to focus on today? You're being presented with some important decisions at the end of the week, and this card asks you not to jump to conclusions based on your emotions. Instead, take time to look at all the options and points of view available. Through this type of thinking, you will be able to activate your highest intuitive, self, and you'll be able to discover a new way of doing things, a way you've not thought of, and sometimes this requires meditation, or maybe going out in nature, going for a walk. You're also being called to divide your thinking between your everyday affairs as well as your higher spiritual truths, which require you to expand your thinking into multidimensional thinking. So maybe sit down and make a list of what's important for you, and what you really want to do with your time. Because I'll tell you, we could waste so much time on things, just being on Facebook too much, or just, constantly being on our phones. And before you know it, the day is half over and we haven't gotten anything done, I've let myself go like that quite a bit. And you got to pull back, take some time to meditate on how you could organize your day, your week, your month, in a more efficient way. If you need to make an important decision, try to look at it from several points of view, because when we need to make a decision and we're emotional, at that time, we're not going to be using our logical thinking. So, try your best to use both parts of your heart and your mind to come up with logical decisions. And if you can't make a decision, just wait, put it on the back burner, because whenever we jump to a decision before thinking thoroughly or looking at it from different perspectives or point of views, we usually make a decision that we regret later. So, the more you go within, the more grounded you can be. That's going to be the best time that you could access your clear thinking and, get real with yourself. What's important? What needs to be done today? What could be done tomorrow? What situations do I have control over? What do I not? And, make some time for yourself. It's all about that quiet time, that me time, that meditation and going within. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it by giving it a thumbs up, share it, and above all, subscribe, because I will be back with more.